What do we think right now about Michigan? Do we know who they are yet?
I think they're starting to get a little glimpse of who they are, I think they are. Go ahead, Hack.
Yeah, I mean, I think they have. I think it's been a long time.
A little glimpse.
Jim Harbaugh area. Yeah, it's a flash in the pan. You know, they got to beat Ohio State. They got to beat Ohio State this year. I mean, I don't know. I think that's a tough thing to say. The guy has obviously had success, but when you're talking about that side of the division in the Big Ten, you got to win it. And when you usually look at that side, it's Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan, and Ohio State's just been, you know, sunning everybody else on that side of the division for the past few years. So I think Michigan brought Harbaugh in to give them a chance to make runs, and it's got to show up at some point in time.
The seat is warming up, really, truly. You think Michigan can go out and get a better?
It has to be.
Why? It's national championship.
Because it's right.
The bar at Michigan, national championship. That's the bar.
But no, I think it starts with Ohio State. To Hack's point, you have to beat rivals in this game. That's why you see so many guys circulate, you know, in and out of the SEC, because they can't beat Nick Saban. Right, you got a lot of great coaches that have come through there. Mark Richt, in my mind, should have never been fired because, man, he's a mainstay at Georgia. What that guy did for that program with us.
But that's the point. I think from my perspective, Nick Saban is Nick Saban, and that's the Roman army. So if you're firing people because they're not beating the Roman army, we'll just get you a list. Somebody will break through at some point. But if the best is the bar, golly, like how many coaches just are waiting for that one breakthrough class or that one breakthrough moment? Trevor, what are your thoughts about that? We're on it now. This is the After Dark show. Trevor Knight, Jim Harbaugh, we're watching them right now with everybody back to home. Is the seat, is the bar, let's go with what happened. Is it Ohio State / national championship, or is it consistency in XYZ? What is it? What is the bar?
Well, you look at the college football landscape, and the culture's just changed. No longer is it you got 5, 6, 7 years to get a program going, right? I mean, you've got to get going now, and you've got to win ball games now, especially at a school like Michigan. I see Michigan right now, even though you've got the big name at the top, being a lot like Texas down in Austin. You can go one of which ways. You can start going through this carousel where, yeah, you're the University of Texas, but you're falling off hard year after year after year, or you go and you chase it all and start being consistent. Yes, the end goal at a place like Michigan is still national championship because of all the history there. But right now, in this kind of macro view, it's got to be getting back to consistent football and winning those, or at least competing in those rivalry games.
So if Michigan is like the LSU, if they have LSU's position, how LSU is positioned up against Bama, can't they? Isn't that a role to support and back up? Hack. I mean, if Michigan can LSU to Alabama in the Big Ten, then you also got to throw in Penn State, because I think Penn State is ahead of Michigan. Is that worth riding with him on? You're still going to have Alabama, but LSU is in the national championship. They just won the national championship. They won it maybe 10 years back. Is that enough to go scare them, tag them up, so to speak? Or do you have to absolutely like replace them?
Yeah, I think that's hard, man, and I think that's one of the challenges with the Big Ten East is the fact that you have 3 traditionally touted programs in terms of in the history of college football with Penn State, Michigan, and Ohio State. The issue I kind of find is, and the balancing act that programs need to figure out goes back to some points Trevor made, where you're either going to rotate things in and you only have 3, 4, 5 years, or you're going to go the route of the Patriot way or the Steelers, bring in some NFL references in, where you keep consistency and continuity in terms of building a culture, right? but there does come a point in time when that isn't working, where the establishment of that culture is failing for whatever reason. And the one thing you said, George, really resonated. I mean, Penn State's been beating Michigan for, the past 4, 5, 6 years. So I don't even know if they are that LSU. And when you go into a game like the Ohio State-Michigan game and you've been getting beat, and they really haven't even been just getting beat. I mean, they've been getting spanked. It's going to be one of those things where I think this year, if Harbaugh is able to go up there and get a win, and it has to be a win, does not matter. I think that conversation happens. But if he loses again and Penn State ends up going up there and beating them again, I don't know. I think definitely
you can't. Look, he's 49-22. He's 49-22. He's not a Mike Tomlin. He's not a Bill Belichick to where you can just sit there and scrape over the fact that it's Harbaugh. He went here. It's 49-22. How many years and how many games do you need to prove, hey, man, I got my recruiting classes here? Like Tom Herman had 3, to your point, Trevor, had 3 years. Yeah. That was it. And they let him go. You have to win now. And I think his reputation at Michigan for what he is to that program allowed him to be here this many seasons. That guy's got to win. Hack, to your point, if he doesn't beat Ohio State this year, if Penn State comes in there and beats him, I think he's gone.
Yeah.
Wow.
That might be the range.
That's great point.
Sorry.
I think that's great points. I mean, you came in hot, and I appreciate it. Now I know that the temperature in this room is a little bit. I might have to take this off, but I mean, yeah, I think you were right on. I think you're spot on, dude.
Hey, y'all saw that eye roll too. I hope everybody saw that eye roll when Hackett was like, "Man, this guy's coming in hot like this."
So Bryce Petty, just to be Bryce Petty, they're 2-0 and they're looking good right now. Bryce Petty accepting applications for the head coaching position at Michigan already. Noted.
No. You didn't hear me. I said if they lose, to Hack's point, if they lose this
Ohio
year,
State.
Right? It's heating up now. This 2-0 team, they look pretty good, man. They had 200+ yards rushing last week. They just went ham again. This week right now, but at the same time, it's can he do it? Can he do it in a big game? Khakis or not?